In my opinion, 2011 was one heck of a year for gaming. That year, we got some epic titles like Skyrim, Batman Arkham City, Uncharted 3, Dark Souls, and more, all of which are total classics. But out of all those games, The Witcher 2 was released, and this game grabbed the attention of RPG fans with its awesome story and character development. Now, I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this game in this video review. Before I start, I would appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe to my channel so that I can reach 1000 subscribers sooner. The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings is a badass action RPG game from 2011 made by CD Projekt Red based on the Witcher books by Andrzej Sapkowski. It's the follow-up to the 2007 game The Witcher and the second big part of the Witcher video game series. You control Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter known as a Witcher. The world he's in is like a mix of Polish history and Slavic myths. This game rocked both with the critics and the players, selling over 8 million copies by September 2014. Then they dropped the third one, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, in May 2015. At the start of the game, Geralt is stuck in jail suspected of offing Foltest, the king of Temeria. Vernon Roche, the big shot in the Temerian Special Forces, grills Geralt and gets the scoop on how he went from Foltest's right-hand man to a jailbird. Before and during the Witcher's events, Foltest was getting cozy with a baroness named Maria Luisa Lavalette, which resulted in two kids, Anais and Bussy. After Geralt saved Foltest from a Witcher hitman, Foltest decided he wanted his kids and tried to snatch them to Vizima. Maria wasn't having it, so Foltest started a war to get them. Geralt manages to get Foltest to his kids, but someone offs Foltest and leaves Geralt holding the bag. After the interrogation, Roche figures Geralt's innocent and helps him bust out. The two, along with sorceress Triss Merigold, go hunting for the Kingslayer. The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings is often praised for its story, which rivals The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt for a bunch of good reasons. This game sucks you into a world full of shades of grey, setting up the complex storytelling seen throughout the series. The game's got choices that really matter and mess with the story, making you feel like you're part of it. One thing that makes The Witcher 2 stand out is its political drama and character building. The game dives into the mess between nations, groups, and folks, each with their own agendas. You're navigating through a maze of friendships and backstabs, making deals with kings, magic ladies, and rebels, all while trying to figure out who killed King Foltest. The depth of the story is right up there with The Witcher 3, making you question who you can trust. Plus, The Witcher 2 has characters you won't forget. Geralt's journey isn't just about killing monsters, but also dealing with complicated relationships with folks like Triss Merigold, Vernon Roche, and Iorveth. Each character has their own story, reasons, and screw-ups, adding to the game's rich world. These complicated relationships make you care about what happens even after you've finished playing. The themes in The Witcher 2 are deep, just like in The Witcher 3. The game talks about stuff like prejudice, power, and what happens when you make choices, making you think hard about your decisions. Whether it's picking between doing what's right or getting payback, or trying to figure out love and loyalty, The Witcher 2 puts you in tough spots that challenge how you see things. So yeah, the game's story and themes are just as good as The Witcher 3, showing it's a boss at storytelling in games. The gameplay of The Witcher 2 is a big change from its predecessors. Combat, for example, is way more complicated with stuff like abilities to lay traps and aim and throw ranged weapons. The main dude, Geralt, has a better offensive and defensive setup with lots of melee and ranged weapons, armored bombs, traps, and extra stuff like hatchets and shovels. Upgrades come in 4 flavors: basic training, which you gotta invest in before you can access the other paths. sword fighting, which makes Geralt better at swinging his sword, alchemy, which gives perks like making potions less nasty, and magic, which makes Witcher signs stronger. The Witcher 2 also has a sneaky mode in certain parts, where you gotta stay hidden while you sneak to some goal. If Geralt sneaks up on enemies, he can knock them out, but you can also jump into a fight if you're feeling bold. When The Witcher 2 came out, people loved its story, characters, and world building, but it did have some gameplay issues that got fixed in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. One big problem in The Witcher 2 was its clunky combat. It felt stiff and slow, making it tough to pull off Geralt's move smoothly, especially when you're fighting a bunch of enemies. Another issue was how linear the game was. Even though you could make choices that changed the story, you were mostly stuck on one path. You didn't get much chance to explore or do side stuff like you do in The Witcher 3. Also, the pacing in The Witcher 2 could be all over the place, especially in the middle. Sometimes the story would jump around or introduce new stuff without warning, which made it hard to keep up. The Witcher 3 fixed that with smoother transitions and a more cohesive story that keeps you hooked the whole way through. So, while The Witcher 2 set the stage, The Witcher 3 polished things up nicely. The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings is still a super fun game to dive into in 2024, even though it dropped more than 10 years ago back in 2011. This game's got everything: a crazy detailed world full of political drama, choices that make you think twice, and characters you won't forget in a hurry. And with its branching storylines, each time you play, it's like a whole new adventure, so you might find yourself hitting that replay button more than once. Plus, if you're into mature themes, deep plots, and gameplay that really makes you sweat, this game's got you covered. It aged like fine wine, staying relevant and exciting for both fresh faces and old fans alike. And let's not forget, The Witcher 2 adds some serious backstory to the whole Witcher universe. Whether you are a die-hard fan of Andrzej Sapkowski's novels or just love the video games, diving into this one is a must. It's like a missing puzzle piece for understanding Geralt of Rivia and his world. With its solid quality and lasting impact, The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings is still a total gem that's worth your time, even in 2024.
For command!